reading, the narrator has succeeded in distracting you long enough to forget you exist outside the book, where, like me, you are dying. All I have this time is my life, or what's left of it. The square hospital room from which I type this missive is as familiar to me now as my own hands. There are 2 windows, one in the door and another in the wall, but I have not been outside for almost 8 months. In that time, however, I have visited places and people as permitted by the drunk librarian of memory, whose random dispatches have not led back into the past, but into the future, where there is often clarity, but also helplessness. And so, if contrived disaster is why you're here, to be diluted by the suffering of others, then I suggest you stop reading and put this book down. Find a parable-style work with a cover that has been purposefully designed to trick you. I mean it. I'm not joking, nor am I trying to be antisocial. I won't tell you what this story is about, and you can just go on with your life. Forget the moment ever happened. Never think of me again as you step back from the unexpected intimacy. In this story, pain is the only reliable proof of happiness. 26. You do realize that by turning the page, you've decided to follow a complete stranger down a possibly meaningless path. I'm going to try and lead you home by a different road. Home is where you've been wanting to go for some time. It's why you read. Unless you're in school, and this is forced, in which case you have my sympathies, as childhood is a series of small disasters that conspire to become something precious. If this story doesn't get you all the way home, you'll at least feel closer. I know because there's already a bond between us. If I didn't sense it right now, I would stop all this. I've arrived here after reading books and authoring books, some of which you may have suffered through in the past. The point is, I know enough now to recognize that everything I've written was child's play. Actually, not as wise, because children know they're playing, whereas we deceive ourselves into believing play is real, while the truth slips further and further away, until one day rearing up, perhaps after an ordeal, disguised as a terrifying monster we once tried to assimilate as a god, something that has come from outside to obliterate, but in reality has risen from within. 25. It's time to begin our journey forward by moving through what is past. Our destination lies on the other side, though is yet to be imagined. We will get there together, and there will be others, but you will not know the others. Through the act of listening to this novel, it's actually you telling the story. For example, when you hear words, what's imagined comes from your experience of life, not mine. The bus appeared at twilight. We were almost home when rain turned to snow. In the afternoon, we simply walked, arm in arm, across the cold, cold sand. He was sleeping when... That was our first kiss, then, in... How could I know the things you've seen and felt in the years we've been apart? This journey won't feel like remembering, more like a dream, because I control the structure of what you see, but never the content. That's for you to feast upon. What are you imagining? Feast takes me to Romans in togas at long tables, a mosaic pieced together by small fingers I cannot see but know were there. It's June, and I'm a sweating child in shorts, thirsty, at Chester Museum on a school trip in 1980-something, just standing there, staring at the ancient multitude, overcome with despair at not having enough money to buy a toy centurion in the gift shop. I've eaten my lunch, but feel hungry again. I'm also wondering where she is. I didn't see her.